we live? Hello. Welcome back to the hangar. Coming up, Rosebuds All-Stars regional team versus Tomorrowland Phenomenauts. I'm Shifty.
I'm Darth.
Darth, you want to read them off?
Can do. We'll start with the Rose City Rosebuds Regional All-Stars. We've got 199 Slaughtermelon, 21 Lucky Harms, 211 Pop-Tart, 222 LL Cool Sleigh, 25 Rolling Thunder, 357 Billy Fiend, 44 Sour Snitch, 49 Sherbert, 496 A Saltwater Taffy, 56 Ludini, 606 Row Wreck Your Bout, 612 Mystery Machine, 701 Kung Fu Skinny, 819 Kill Pickle, and 88 Decoy.
Shall I do the Phenomenauts?
Go for it.
We have 101 Spider Bite, 150 Starburst, 217 Anna Lethal, 22 Psycho Kitty, 27 Jupiter, 313 Toucan Slam, 357 Junie Gloom, 426 Comet, 5 Pinky Crusher, 57 Rotten Tomato, 577 Loco, 66 Lucifer, 84 Sideswipe, and 89 Slytherin. The Phenomenauts from Tacoma, Washington, I believe. Should be a good game.
Got about 2 minutes left to go before we can get started.
We're doing last minute track checks right now. Should be doing gear checks here in a second.
Looks like they're doing some track maintenance down there as well, making sure the tape is all nice and good.
A never-ending process.
Very true.
If you were tuned in before for the game, Rosebuds national team against the Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy, that was a good one. You can probably back up on the stream and check that out if you haven't already.
Good afternoon. As we get ready to start Game 3 of 2025 Bridge City Riot, I would like to give you an idea of who's going to be playing in this game. Skating in the purple jerseys, Rose City Rollers, Rosebuds Regional All-Stars, we've got number 199 Slaughtermelon, 21 Lucky Harms, 211 Pop-Tart, 222 LL Cool Sleigh, 25 Rolling Thunder, 357 Billy Fiend, 44 Sour Snitch, 49 Sherbert, 496 The Saltwater Taffy, 56 Ludini, 606 Row Wreck Your Bout, 612 Mystery Machine, 701 Kung Fu Skinny, 819.
All right, looks like we've got skaters taking the track now. Zebras taking the track. Just about time to start this game.
101 Spider Bite, 150 Starburst.
Looks like we've got 606 Row Wreck Your Bout on the Jam on Hawthorne Jam line for the Rosebuds.
357 Junie Gloom, 426 Comet, 5 Pinky Crusher, 57 Rotten Tomato,
And for Tomorrowland, it's going to be number 66 Lucifer.
713 Crossbones, 89 Slytherin.
And we're off.
There's our whistle. We've got
Roro with a quick lead jammer.
Quickly out. Here comes Lucifer.
Row is lead for the Buds. Lucifer
Rosebuds on the move. Speeding up the track.
And
Pick up 2 points
0.
and call it.
Smart call by
Actually,
Roro.
4, sorry. Yeah, good work to do that, especially with these up in division teams. You want to get on the move, get your points, and get out of it.
This next jam, we've got Rotten Tomato.
Seeing 5-7 Rotten Tomato for Tomorrowland on the jam line.
And Slaughtermelon for the Rosebuds.
Rotten Tomato getting a jammer for Tomorrowland.
Slaughtermelon now out of the pack in pursuit.
First penalties of the game being called on Billy team.
Great job.
Raw Tomato get to the outside by decoy. And again,
Funky Skinny was in there.
Big drag back by one of the Tomorrowland skaters.
run back to turn 3.
Rotten Tomato now out on the first scoring pass. Rotten Tomato spins off the outside of the track, calls it off.
Call that jam.
It's a 4-4 jam.
Box is clear.
Yeah, good job for Rosebuds to be able to match that one.
Rolling Thunder on the jam on Hawthorne Camper line up against 3-1-3 for the Phenomenauts. That is Two-Can Slam.
Is number 313 Two-Can Slam, the jammer for Tomorrowland.
And Rolling Thunder for the Rosebuds.
Being called this time out brought to you by RCR's official realtor. Welcome to PDX.
Officials look to be chatting about some something. Teams chatting with each other, getting ready for the next jam.
I'll take this time to thank Porque No Taqueria. Porque No Taqueria, the sunniest place in Portland, voted best tacos and Mexican food in PDX. We'd also like to thank 888, exclusive protective gear sponsor of RCR, the certified sweat saver, developed, tested, and trusted by the best. I wonder what we're reviewing here.
It looks like the refs are getting back into their natural positions, so mayhaps we're getting ready to move forward.
And we still have this group on the outside
yep,
having
thank
a
you to the
discussion.
camera.
It might be a good time to talk about some other sponsors. How about Black Cat Plumbing, your local neighborhood plumbing company and proud sponsor of RCR since the dawn of time. And here we go, back to Derby. And another timeout whistle. Sorry, everybody. Sort of slow moving start here.
Figuring out all the stuff right in the beginning.
Phenomenauts. This time out brought to you once again by RCR's official realtor, Jeff Staver. Welcome to PDX.
Two-Can Slam and Rolling Thunder both waiting at the line. As soon as we get back to action, we'll have these jammers in action.
Little dance party happening there. Gotta keep the energy up during these timeouts.
That's why you gotta have the dance parties.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Rolling whistle means back to Derby. Two-Can Slam spins around the outside, still finding Rosebuds.
Pop-Tart doing an excellent catch at the top there.
Rolling Thunder forced out at the last second.
Not far behind Two-Can Slam.
Toucan Slam. Rushing through the pack. Final defender, Pop-Tart, stops them, but then there's the call-off. Looks like we got Mystery Machine and Rotten Tomato at the line. Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box is clear. Rotten Tomato steps aside and flies through the outside of the track to catch lead jammer. Mr. Machine held up in the pack.
Nice little zoom in dog training apex jump, it looked like a little bit.
4 points on the board for the Phenomenauts.
Rotten Tomato already with 4 points on the board this jam.
Mystery Machine just getting through at the top of the pack. Coming around to score.
Great job by Billy Fiend for that last force to the inside of the track. Rotten Tomato calls it off. We got Ludini and Lucifer lining up. Once again, both teams at full strength. Lucifer spins off, finds the opening on the outside and becomes lead jammer.
Houdini pushing up at the top of the pack.
Lucifer finds the opening, takes his points and calls it off.
Tomorrowland having a skater visit that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box at the start of this jam.
Rotten Tomato and Roro Wreckabout lining up. Tomorrowland with one blocker in the penalty box.
And looks like we've got Rotten Tomato up against Roro Wreckabout.
Roro Wreckabout forces through and becomes lead jammer. Rosebuds doing a great job holding back. Yeah, that's good defense.
Yeah, Rosebuds doing a great job at avoiding that offense from Tomorrowland. Roro with a big hit to get through for 4 points.
Flying through. Rotten Tomato now out of the pack. A little worse for wear after that tough Rosebuds defense.
And Roro calls the jam.
All right, we have a lead change. Rosebuds managed to claw back and take a point.
Looks like a team timeout for Tomorrowland.
Welcome to PDX. I'd like to take a second to say thank you to another one of our sponsors, Morcano Taqueria. Morcano Taqueria, the sunniest place in Portland, voted the best tacos and Mexican food.
I'll take this time to thank the Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery, John's Landing's favorite eatery and saloon. Also, Ritual Dyes, Portland's local yarn shop with hand-dyed yarn, tools, and more, owned by one of our Rosebuds parents, who is also a record skater.
If you're a fan of any of these sponsors that are getting mentioned, tag them on your social media, hashtag RCR sponsor. Let them know how much you love them and how much you love RCR.
While we're having this official review, we'll take some more time for our sponsors. 187 Killer Pads, our other exclusive gear, protective gear sponsor, along with 888. 187 Killer Pads, often imitated, never duplicated, stick with the best.
Youth, accessible and support today by texting ROLLER25 to 44321. Again, text ROLLER.
Right now, we are in the middle of our fundraising season for the juniors program here at Rose City Rollers.
We appreciate it.
So look for the Roller Rally Juniors fundraiser. Looks like the QR code was just on our screen. I'm sure it'll pop up several more times during the course of this game and tournament. All right, rolling whistle back to action. Rosebuds with one blocker in the penalty box. Slaughtermelon at the line, and
I believe that is Toucan Slam.
yes, Toucan Slam looking for that lead opening, takes it. Slaughtermelon still held up by that defense from Tomorrowland.
Excellent hit out there by the Rosebuds.
Slaughtermelon now on the initial pass. Toucan Slam scores and calls it off, taking back the lead. Should be 24, yeah, 24-21, three-point game.
Tomorrowland starting this jam with their pivot in the box. Rosebuds at full strength.
On that jam on Hawthorne Jammer line, we've got Rolling Thunder. Jamming for the Buds.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder at the line for Rosebuds.
Up against Jupiter.
Jupiter for Tomorrowland.
Rolling Thunder driving those blockers up real fast.
That's what Rolling Thunder does.
Very strong jammer.
Rolling Thunder again, looking for the opening, but that pack is on the move.
Buds locking down their defensive tripod in the back.
Rolling Thunder steps through the tripod at the front, takes back the lead. This game is going to be close.
Very exciting. Rolling Thunder just driving up the track.
Stretching out that pack.
Jupiter now out on the initial pass.
Tomorrowland Roller Derby is a tough adversary.
They are. I believe that is another lead change.
Yeah, we're going to go back and forth here, huh? Mystery Machine lining up for the Rosebuds. Toucan Slam lining up for Tomorrowland. Rosebuds with the pivot. Kung Fu Skinny in the penalty box. Toucan Slam steps through the middle. Mystery Machine almost has that opening.
We're on a no pass, no penalty.
Good attention. Here comes Kung Fu Skinny, but there's the call off. Here we are, 10 minutes into the game. It's a 1-point game. They're about to throw some points maybe up on the board. Yeah, 29-28. Rosebuds Regional versus Tomorrowland.
That is Ludini and Rotten Tomato as your jammers.
Rotten Tomato decides to go straight into engagement. Shoulder first in the Rosebuds, but they hold him down, and Ludini manages to escape and become lead jammer. Rotten Tomato still held up at the back of the pack. Nice defense.
Buds covering that whole track with their tripod, not letting any space.
The Rosebuds are like, we've been here before. We know what to do against you guys now.
Ludini with a big hit entering the pack.
Last defender steps aside and takes the 4.
Goes ahead and calls it off after picking up 4.
8 points that jam for Lugini and the Rosebuds.
Lugini has been having an excellent day.
A fine jammer indeed. It's like up next we got Roa, Rickerbot, and Lucifer jamming. Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box is clear.
Record out, jamming for the Buds. Lucifer jamming for the Phenomenauts. There's our whistle.
Lucifer forced to the inside and recycled by a Pop-Tart. Roa Rickerbot breaks out and becomes lead jammer.
Lucifer getting out right behind. Roro now scoring and calling it off.
Smart derby.
4-0.
Games like these, you got to play that small ball, right? Take your points and go.
The age-old phrase, nickel and dime, nickel and dime.
Slaughtermelon and Toucan Slam at the line. Tomorrowland with 1 blocker in the box. Slaughtermelon steps through, spins off, and becomes lead jammer. Toucan Slam bouncing off Rosebuds. A little friendly fire.
Slaughtermelon shrugging off a hit there and spinning their way out to get another 4 points.
Plowing through. Slaughtermelon spinning, but stays in bounds.
Saving it, 1 hand out.
Dancing on the tape. Oh, but they get called for a cut track.
Power jam for Tomorrowland. 1 minute remaining in the jam.
Big defense. 3-5-7. Billy Fiend.
Bud's doing a great job at rotating around that offense.
Kung Fu Skinny, Sherbert, Decoy, and Billy Fiend.
Slaughtermelon out of the box and scoring.
Neutralization of that power jam. Melon is back on the track, scoring points. We do a star pass on the Phenomenauts to Anna Lethal. Sherbert heading to the layouts on a multiplayer.
Super tough defense from the Rosebuds. Kung Fu Skinny, the veteran.
Slaughtermelon spins through for a final 4 points.
20-point jam, that's a big one. Rosebuds now stretching out their lead.
Please, if you are in the stands, do not coach from the stands. Leave the coaching to the coaches and you just enjoy yourself. But it is against JRB regulations to have those.
I believe that is Rolling Thunder and Toucan Slam on the jammer line.
Both teams with 1 blocker in the penalty box. Tomorrowland's blocker is standing, so ready to re-enter the track. Rolling Thunder finds the way through the inside and becomes lead jammer.
Toucan Slam with a backwards jump to get out of the pack.
Is that a Zoom Room Apex jump?
I do believe it was.
Toucan Slam's got some gas.
That was amazing, and I hope to one day accomplish a feat like that myself.
Come on, I'm sure you have.
I'd like to say thank you to Black Cat for running your local neighborhood clubbing company and proud sponsor of RCR since forever.
All right, Rotten Tomato and Mystery Machine at the line. Rosebuds with 1 blocker standing in the box. That's Sherbet.
And Rotten Tomato.
Rotten Tomato sees the opening now. Takes advantage of that one less blocker and gets through for lead jammer. Now Mystery Machine in pursuit.
Rosebuds did some excellent offense there to get Mystery Machine out of the pack.
Oh, that's a big apex jump attempt. Forced out by Kung Fu Skinny, who will head to the penalty box.
Mystery Machine putting points on the board. Rotten Tomato answering those 4 points.
Mystery Machine entering the pack, hoping to score some points here.
Mystery Machine was able to score points before the lead jammer. So now Rotten Tomato decides to call that off.
And Mystery Machine got all 4 points, and only 2 for Tomato on that one.
So yeah, despite not having lead jammer, 2-point advantage.
Both teams starting this jam with a blocker in the box standing.
Ludini and Lucifer at the line.
Ludini and Lucifer facing off on the jam line.
There goes Pop-Tart. Oh, bouncing off Ludini, or Lucifer.
And that was a high block on Lucifer. So this is a power jam for Ludini.
Ludini is lead.
Wow, big hits in this game.
But Ludini is shrugging them off, getting through the pack for 4 points.
Like it's nothing. Ludini stepping aside, now engaging with the tripod at the front.
Lucifer going to be re-entering the track.
Ludini through for another scoring pass. Here comes Lucifer racing back on the track. Trying to clear that initial pass, but gets called off. 12-point jam for Ludini. 83-36. Rosebuds still stretching out that lead. But in a game like this, you never know. Could be anybody's game.
Very true.
A power jam, a big scoring round.
In close games, it takes 2 good jams, and you've got another lead change. If you're watching this and you're a parent who thinks you maybe have a junior who'd want to try out some Derby, come to Junior Derby Discovery Day. Kids age 7 to 17, come try Derby for free on May 4th. You get to watch a game, learn about RCR, and then try some skating. Go to rosecityrollers.com/join to check out Derby Discovery Day.
Darth and I both here due to our connection to Junior Roller Derby.
Yes, we are. Here both as a former junior and as a coach of some of the juniors you're seeing on the track right now.
Let's read some sponsors. Check out RCR team merch at rosecityrollers.com/shop and order online so you can rep your favorite teams. Sasquatch HR, making nonprofit and small business workplaces better, sasquatchr.org. Also, WSL Leadership Coaching. Learn how to transform interpersonal conflict into organizational justice at wslleadership.com.
It looks like after that official timeout that Rosebuds are going to be having, I believe that is Pop-Tart, starting in the box.
Due to some official review.
Official timeout, I don't believe there was a review, but the officials recalled something that they would like, that they needed to chat about. That's our rolling whistle. We've got Roro Wreck Your Bout and Rotten Tomato as your jammers.
At the Jam on Hawthorne Jam line.
With Roro Wreck Your Bout and Rotten Tomato on that Jam on Hawthorne.
Rotten Tomatoes, he likes that inside track opening.
Rotten Tomato coming back around, looking to put points on the board.
A big apex jump, clears it. I had exactly the right angle for that one. Roro Wreck Your Bout now out of the pack and on the initial pass.
Rotten Tomato threw for another scoring pass and calling the jam.
That was a big apex jump.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
I'd like to thank you to Sasquatch HR, making nonprofit and small business workplaces better. SasquatchHR.org.
It's Toucan Slam and Slaughtermelon.
Toucan Slam
And
Watermelon.
Rosebuds with one blocker standing now in the penalty box. Who's now released.
Toucan Slam through as your lead jammer.
Jawbreaker chasing out, but not quite able to stop it. Toucan Slam has got active feet.
Yes, very skilled on the footwork.
And Saltwater Taffy to slow down Toucan Slam.
Toucan Slam now re-engaging.
Taking a big hit from Pop-Tart and getting drugged back.
Pop-Tart knows how to do that. All right, Tomorrowland, 4 points, more points on the board there.
These skaters really leaving it all out on the track, doing an excellent job on both sides.
Yeah, I didn't see what led to that consequence over there on the other side of the track. Let's hope our skater's okay.
Take this official timeout to tell you about the Junior Roller Derby summer camps. If you have a junior who's interested in derby, come bring him to summer camp. Registration is open. There's 6 weeks of summer camp, ages 7 to 18. Any skill level is welcome. Go to RoseCityRollers.com to register for summer camp.
Next thing you know, 9 years later, you'll still be here all the time at the hangar, living the dream.
Maybe even 16 years later. Once you get your junior and derby, they'll never stop.
All right, Slaughtermelon up on their feet and skating off the track. That's what we'd like to see.
The penalties up on the board. Not too many penalties in this game. Looking pretty even across the teams, which is always awesome.
All right, I only see 3 Rosebuds on the track. Not quite sure why. Here we go. Skaters rushing to the track. There should be one more blocker though.
Got Ludini coming out as the jammer with Toucan Slam.
And here comes Pop-Tart. that fourth blocker just in time.
So this is a continuation of the
Hello, Cool Slay playing some offense up at the top for Ludini, dropping back to defense as Ludini pushes out for lead jammer. Oh, not lead jammer.
I'm not sure what happened there.
I'm assuming a no pass, no penalty. Could have been something else, but that's what I would guess.
Rolling Thunder and Rotten Tomato lining up on the jam.
All right, Rotten Tomato, Rolling Thunder, both teams at full strength.
And there's our whistle.
Rolling Thunder doing what Rolling Thunder does best. Pushing that pack all the way up into the turn.
Holding up Rolling Thunder at the top of the pack.
Great D by the Rosebuds,
It'll stay inbound.
holding Rotten Tomato back.
Through for lead.
Rolling Thunder getting lead jammer for the Rosebuds.
Looks like we have an illegal procedure on number 6-9. 8-9, slithering.
Rotten Tomato now out of the pack and on the initial.
Rolling Thunder looking to put points on the board.
Rolling Thunder calling the jam,
2 points
taking
up
4
for
points,
Rolling.
and roll.
Nickel and dime, nickel and dime. Mystery Machine and Lucifer heading to the line. Tomorrowland with 1 blocker in the penalty box.
Lucifer and Mystery Machine.
Lucifer sees the opening and runs past. Comes lead jammer.
But Mystery Machine did some excellent footwork to get out of the pack, and is not too far behind.
Lucifer goes out with a bang.
I believe that bang will be sending number 222, LL Cool Slay, to the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box.
Rosebuds call a timeout.
This timeout brought to you by Welcome to PDX.
Yeah, timeouts are brought to us by Deb Counts-Tabor, the official realtor of the Rose City Rollers. Welcome to PDX. Yeah, so roller rally happening right now. Fundraiser for the juniors program here at Rose City Rollers. Keep your eyes out. Here it is. There's the QR code. Scan that. Please donate to the Rose City Rollers Juniors program. It's a saving grace for many kids here in Portland and an awesome thing to do here. And we need your support. Thank you.
Derby is so incredible for all of these juniors. Donate if you've got money to donate, if you've got time to donate, please, any support for these excellent athletes. I believe that is Jupiter for Tomorrowland and Roro Wreck Your Bout for the Buds.
Certainly is. Roro Wreck Your Bout forcing through and becomes lead jammer. Jupiter forced out and recycled.
Jupiter looking for some offensive help. Step behind
Billy Fiend with the tough defense.
And now Country spinning.
Roro with 1 to beat at the top, and does.
Spins off it.
Pass on the board. Jupiter still unable to complete an initial pass.
Oh, and Jupiter will be going to the penalty box, so it is a power jam for Roro Wreck Your Bout.
Roro Wreck Your Bout flying by. Another scoring pass. We have a 33-point spread here, which is still in Derby a total attainable gap.
Absolutely. Bud's doing some great offense for Roro.
And there's the call off.
Tomorrowland Jammer getting out of that box just in the nick of time.
11 points on the board for the Bucks.
Ludini and Starburst now at the line. Billy Fiend serving time in the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box for the Rosebuds.
Got Pop-Tart with the classic pivot start action. And an excellent hit by Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart with the big force out. Pop-Tart doesn't take any guff.
Ludini looking to score some points and does so with ease.
Triple digits now for Rosebuds. 40-point spread. Wow, big hit. Starburst blasting through, but still held up by Rosebuds defense. Now freed on the initial pass after a lot of hard work, and then a call off.
Tomorrowland Skater is doing an excellent job at that end of that jammer, cycling up to try to catch that jammer.
I'd like to say thank you to Jam on Hawthorne for sponsoring our Jam line. The Jam on Hawthorne.
All right, Rolling Thunder, Rotten Tomato, clear penalty box.
Jammer defense happening off the start.
Rotten Tomatoes looks to the opening and gets it. One to beat. Tomorrowland's defense recycling. Laddering to the front. Rotten Tomato engaging at the back with a big impact. But that big impact costs them a penalty. And he will head to the penalty box.
Power jam for Rolling Thunder.
Time for Rosebuds to take advantage of the moment. Boy, that Tomorrowland defense continuing to ladder, always in front.
Yeah, 2-7 Jupiter is doing some excellent defensive work. Doing a big drag back there.
Every time you think you're through, they're there again.
Rotten Tomato re-entering the track. Finds Decoy.
Full head of steam, but still Rosebuds hanging them up.
Decoy says, "This is not the line you're looking for."
Kung Fu Skinny with the tough defense. But he will head. No, I thought that was a penalty.
It was a penalty on Decoy for the Buds.
Yep, cut track call on Decoy. Kung Fu Skinny.
Thunder looking for some help from Scherber.
The veteran, gonna.
Buds doing a great job with their two defense at the back.
Boy, look at that go. Rolling Thunder now finally out on the initial pass, nearly 2 minutes into the jam.
Drawing a low block on 2-7 Jupiter.
I think the Rolling Thunder just managed to steal those 4 points right at the end after fighting for almost the whole jam to get out of the pack.
Those were hard-earned points.
All 4 of them now, wow, impressive. Mystery Machine and Lucifer lining up. Both teams with one blocker in the box. Rosebuds blocker standing. That's Decoy, getting ready to re-enter probably right after the whistle. Mystery Machine out in front, but Lucifer passes and takes lead jammer.
Mystery Machine gets out at the top.
Lucifer rolling and bouncing. Takes those 4 points and calls it off. And then does some little Richard move. Some splits.
After 2 minutes left.
Mystery Machine is incredibly flexible, and watching them skate sometimes scares me as a result.
This time out brought to you by our shared official realtor, Welcome to PDX. Just under 2 minutes left in this period.
All right, Slaughtermelon lining up. We have an official timeout though, so we'll hang around.
Some sweet moves there by the Tomorrowland Jammer, heading to the Jam on Hawthorne Jam line.
Yeah, so Rebel Heart Therapy, our penalty box sponsor. Individual and relational therapy for Portland's black sheep and unicorns. Looks like that we got a penalty box swap because the Tomorrowland blocker who was in the penalty box may be a little worse for wear after that last jam. So they're subbing in another one of their skaters.
Blocker in the box communicating how much time they have left to their blockers on the track. Love to see that. Excellent strategy when you've got the time for it. Jammer's having a little dance party as they wait for this jam to get going.
Got to keep the blood flowing.
Love a dance party.
All right, here we go. Slaughtermelon two-can slam jamming. Slaughtermelon getting some offense from Sherbert. It clears up that tripod, and Slaughtermelon is lead jammer, but now a two-can slam in pursuit.
Excellent way to keeping in on 1 foot by two-can slam there. And Starbert with a beautiful hop over their own skater.
That was a beautiful job.
Great track awareness.
There to avoid a down skater. Excellent job.
Okay, Roro Reckerbout and Lucifer lining up. Both teams at full strength.
Lucifer and Row record out. On that jam on Hawthorne jam line. There's our whistle.
Roro Reckerbout goes straight to the front to work.
Row off the pack.
Lucifer, though, flies through and becomes lead jammer, but here's Roro Reckerbout in pursuit.
Buds getting to the top of the pack. Roro able to get 3 points there.
LL Cool Sleigh races out to the front. Making it hard to get that point. I think that LL Cool Sleigh thought that the pack was going to race. But no review.
It's like Ludini and,
Rotten Tomato.
yes.
This will be the last jam of the half. Houdini and Rotten Tomato, both the jammers.
Rotten Tomato.
Out on a cut track, so power jam Houdini.
Power jam. We are off the period clock, just on the jam clock.
Is really on the tape there.
Decoy doing some great offense for Houdini.
Decoy there will be our lead jammer.
Our period clock is done for the first half. Now we're just on jam time. So once this jam concludes, it'll be the end of our first half. Houdini slipping past, 1 to beat, collects 4 points.
Rotten Tomato back on the track.
Great job by
And there's the call off. So we'll see you back here in 10 minutes for the second half of this very competitive game.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor, giving you the highest level of protection on impact. Try it for yourself. We got you.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Inquiry number 80393, company is Seba Guy.
but still, the way that Tomorrowland's playing.
You never know. Sometimes you just need that good halftime pep talk to get you going in the right direction.
And maybe a snack.
Yeah.
I like the photographer on the track doing the dance moves.
That is awesome. Who needs a halftime show when you have photographers?
Right, exactly. Members of the board, I believe, also.
Well, welcome back to the second period of this.
All right, Rosebuds first to take the track.
Game between the Rosebuds and Regional All-Stars.
There's that rolling whistle that we know brings us back to roller derby.
As the teams come back out onto the track, we're going to see Rolling Thunder jamming.
Toucan Slam, Rolling Thunder.
Toucan Slam jamming.
Both teams at full strength.
That they are. Toucan Slam almost had the opening, but Rolling Thunder steps in front and takes lead jammer.
Bud's doing an excellent job recycling up to catch Toucan Slam.
Toucan Slam now out on the initial pass. Rolling Thunder in the engagement zone, powers through, takes the 4 points and calls it off.
I'd like to say thank you to the following sponsors: Menopause Northwest and Portland Vital Signs. Thank you so much for being sponsors.
All right, Lucifer now on the track for Tomorrowland.
No jammer for the Buds yet.
And there's that timeout. Giving the Buds a second to figure it out. Roro Wreckabout now cruises out onto the track and will be the jammer for the Rosebuds.
This time out brought to you by Walmart PDO, Sarasier's official realtor.
Yes, this time out, as all, brought to you by the official realtor of the Rose City Rollers. Deb Counts Tabor, welcome to PDX.
When we get back to gameplay, it will be Lucifer jamming for Tomorrowland up against Rosebuds. Wreckabout jamming for the Buds.
Something the juniors do I absolutely love. They're all like wearing each other's number with little hearts because they all love each other.
There is a lot of love. All right, here we go. Roro Wreckabout and Lucifer jamming.
Roro getting right through to the front of the pack, but Lucifer is out for lead jammer.
Lucifer just has so much power. Oh, big hit by Rotten Tomato, forcing Roro Wreckabout out.
Nice juke to the outside.
Roro Wreckabout looking for somebody to blow a whistle.
Beautiful job by Lucky
Lucifer
Harms.
running through.
Unfortunately, drew a penalty.
Lucky Harms heading to the penalty box, didn't see the call.
Buds setting their defense back up, but Lucifer plows right through with a cool little spin at the top.
Nice hit at the end there.
Nice last line of defense. I didn't see whose number that was.
Roro with a hop through from clearing the initial pass.
Oh,
Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart, wow.
Giving it their all, holding Lucifer.
Drawing a penalty on Lucifer.
Lucifer draws a penalty off of that hit from Pop-Tart. Good job, Pop-Tart.
Nice job by Ella Goulsey to stop that.
Roro through for 4 points.
Yeah, so Rosebud's able to stop the bleeding now and balance out the score.
Rotten Tomato had a good hit out and drawback there.
Rotten Tomato with another drawback.
Loco now with some good defense for Tomorrowland.
Good job.
Pop-Tart once again with a big hit on Lucifer.
Lucifer out of bounds to the outside.
Pop-Tart will take no guff.
I believe Lucifer is going and taking another
Wow.
penalty.
So
Hard-hitting
Lucifer,
jam.
yeah, Lucifer now heads to the penalty box
There were lots of whistles there at the end.
at the end of the jam there for that hit that Pop-Tart threw. Or is that not heading to the penalty box? That's a little confusing. But anyway, Pop-Tart with a huge stop there.
Tomorrowland with 2 blockers starting off in the box for this jam.
Mystery Machine and Starburst at the line.
Mystery Machine getting some great offense to get lead.
Mystery Machine spins off. Starburst held up, but now finds the opening and is on the initial pass. Mystery Machine scores and calls it.
Smart play, being able to keep 2 blockers off the track on a jam start.
Tomorrowland blockers in the box communicating with their skaters on the track. Go ahead.
There's Lucifer and Slaughtermelon as the jammers.
That they are.
Lucifer trying to play some jammer defense on Slaughtermelon.
It works as a distraction that creates an opening for him. More than a defensive move, but it's like self-offensing. And there's the call off.
Got Ludini and Toucan Slam as the jammers for this jam.
Each team now with a blocker in the penalty box, so even strength, 3 blockers each on the floor. Lucifer working the front, Toucan Slam working the back.
Ludini getting lead jammer.
Sorry, Ludini, I made a mistake there. Toucan Slam also out of the box, or out of the pack.
Ludini calling the jam, but not before Toucan Slam can steal 2 points.
Zero gain for either team there on that jam. Rotten Tomato and Rolling Thunder lining up. Rosebuds with 1 blocker in the box.
Rolling Thunder and Rotten Tomato wearing the stars on that jam on Pop-Tart jam, right?
Pop-Tart with an excellent catch and the drag back.
Pop-Tart on fire this game.
Pop-Tart just making the catch every direction.
But Rotten Tomato is passing Rolling Thunder, who has lead jammer.
Rolling Thunder calls it off before Rotten Tomato is able to pick up any points.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder with the smart call off before Rotten Tomato able to score. So Rosebuds skater standing in the penalty box, meaning they'll be out quickly after the whistle for the jam.
And Roro and Toucan Slam again on the jammer line.
Roro forced to the inside and recycled. Decoy re-entering the track. Roa Reckerbout trying to find a way on the outside.
And does, right ahead.
But Toucan Slam already has lead and decides to call it off.
Rotten Tomato and Mystery Machine on the jam line.
So many Scooby-Doo references here at the hangar. Mystery Machine looking for the opening on the outside, but Rotten Tomato takes the inside and wins lead. Mystery Machine recycled.
Kill Pickle holding it down on that outside line.
Kill Pickle, tiny but mighty. Look at that big hit by Kill Pickle.
I'm a big Kill Pickle fan, and I'm not biased even though I'm their coach. They're just great. 4-0 jam for Tomorrowland.
Slaughtermelon and Starbursts lining up. Slaughtermelon steps around the outside, finds one last defender, but pushes through and becomes lead jammer.
Excellent footwork there by Slaughtermelon.
Here comes Starbursts in pursuit. And an apex jump. That's a zoom apex jump. Rosebuds continuing to hold that gap.
Ludini and I believe that is Lucifer on the track.
Yes, it is. Tomorrowland with 2 blockers in the box. So Ludini still finds some resistance.
A penalty on Lucifer, I believe, meaning Ludini will be in a power jam.
Power jam, Ludini.
Power jam with a diet pack.
One skate through, virtually unopposed.
Using their own blocker there.
Another pass with minor resistance. Ludini, good track awareness, seeing where the opening is. Oh, but forced to the inside. Ludini just uses the inside of the track for that big circle back quickly. I don't think Tomorrowland was quite prepared for that re-entry.
Bud's gonna get a power start on this next jam. Or maybe not.
Is he released right there at the last second?
I believe it was a last second, yep.
Toucan Slam, Rolling Thunder. Tomorrowland sending their pivot out to the track. Tomorrowland with 1 blocker serving in the box. Taking some time for some Rebel Heart therapy. And we're going to have a little bit of a dance party while we have this official timeout at the Jam on Hawthorne jam line. Jam on Hawthorne, the everybody's friendly brunch place.
Decoy with the excellent dance moves.
Decoy, always a show. Oh, Rolling Thunder. Rushing to the front, one defender. Steps aside and becomes lead jammer.
Two-can slam, finding a lane through. Ooh, excellent catch there by Starburst. Just a little bit of contact is all you need sometimes.
Strategically placed contact.
Yeah, less is more.
All right, Roro Recubout is headed to the line along with Lucifer. Tomorrowland with one blocker in the penalty box. Standing, so presumably about done with their session.
Lucifer and Roro Recubout wearing the stars. Roro trying the inside.
Looks like we got a little jammer run back situation.
But smartly, Roro Recubout crosses the track on the inside. Lucifer hammers past El Coulsay.
Rotten Tomato with a big hit out and drag back.
Near collision with an official there.
Lucifer using his own blocker there. Great job.
Oh, butt first. What is that? He spins and hits Pop-Tart with his rear end.
It's a hard move to do, but it is a legal one.
I think he's just get fed up at the takedowns by Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart is a very talented skater. Got an empty penalty box for this jam, first one in a little while.
Mystery Machine and Starburst. Mystery Machine marching out in front. Spins off two defenders to beat. One to beat.
Great bridging there.
But too far, a bridge too far.
It was too good to be true.
The Buds pack advantage.
Jupiter, though, doing some great one-on-one blocking up at the top with Mystery Machine.
Mystery Machine picking up 4.
Tomorrowland now in triple digits.
Initial pass, stuck behind Sherber, comes through spinning. Billy Davis out switch.
Starburst is just going to hang back for a little defense time.
Which did get a hit out and is out of the pack, so that was very effective.
Yeah, it did seem to work, huh? But Mr. Machine gets through, scores 4 points, and calls it off.
I'd like to say thank you to the following sponsors, Trailhead Credit Union and Secret Art Card. Thank you so much for sponsoring.
Rotten Tomato back as a jammer, been a blocker for a little bit with Slaughtermelon.
Kill Pickle with a little bit of offense there. Slaughtermelon marches out to the front, one to beat, spins off, and becomes lead jammer.
And that's going to be a power jam for Slaughtermelon.
Rotten Tomato to the box. Slaughtermelon quickly threw on that scoring pass. Tomorrowland talking about how to get organized for the next one. Slaughtermelon, hard impact at the front of the pack.
Junie Gloom taking a hard hit there at the top of the pack.
Slaughtermelon, as they're spinning through, calls it off. Takes all 4 points. Ludini and Two-Can Slam lining up. Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box is clear, so both teams at full strength.
official timeout. I've loved seeing Tomorrowland have kind of some roster switches of moving their jammers and their blockers back and forth, seeing them in different positions, showing the talent that their skaters have.
Definitely a good team to watch.
Houdini and two-man slam on that jam line, hop on the jam line.
Houdini steps through the middle.
Two-can slam out right behind.
Uh-oh, here we go, jammer on jammer crime.
Houdini happy to have some little jammer defense moments as they're coming around.
Both jammers stuck in the scrum in the middle of that pack.
Surprise, no call off. But Houdini taking advantage at the front.
With a hard hit at the top of the pack.
Two-can slam held up.
It's decoy.
And Billy Fiend. All right, that's a 8-3 jam. So I guess it was effective that Houdini didn't call it off in that moment when I expected the call off.
Sometimes you just gotta, trust your blockers that they're good at their job, and they clearly were.
They did. Rolling Thunder and Rotten Tomato lining up. We have a clear Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. Rolling Thunder races through to the front and becomes lead jammer, but Rotten Tomato flies past in the apex.
Kill Pickle doing some great offense to get Rolling Thunder out at the top of the pack there.
Rolling Thunder says, nope, that's enough of that.
I'll once again remind folks, please don't coach from the stands. This is a JRDA sanctioned tournament. Cheer responsibly and positively from the stands. Leave the coaching.
So we have this team timeout. Tomorrowland taking the moment to discuss. This timeout, as all, brought to us by the official realtor of Rose City Rollers, Deb Counts-Tabor. Welcome to PDX. On Saturday, April 19th, watch the RCR Juniors Rosebuds All-Stars go head-to-head in the Roses versus Buds game. It'll be live streamed on our YouTube channel. This is a fundraiser for the Rosebuds All-Stars national travel team to help us cover the grand expense of traveling around the country to compete for that national title. Currently, we are the national silver medalists. A couple years ago, we had the gold. It's going to cost us about $60,000 to travel just to compete this year. So please help out any way you can. Attend the game. If we sell it out, we'll raise $1,000 for the team.
Yeah, don't let cost keep these athletes from achieving their greatness.
There's a start whistle. There's a little hesitation there. Like both jammers didn't really realize we were back at it.
Roro
Now we
coming
have
out
a
of that
jammer
lead.
race.
Row is technically
Jammer race. Oh, Rowe goes flying into the wall. Resets, hammering through the pack, but Tomorrowland laddering their defense once again. But now it's so far stretched out, I'm amazed that there hasn't been a penalty called. Yeah, there it is. Starburts heads to the penalty box.
Two-can slam about a half a track behind Roro.
And there is the emphatic call off.
Just four on the board. That was an even 4-4 jam.
That's a wash, 4 each.
Rotten Tomato and Mystery Machine.
LL Cools, or sorry, Pop-Tart once again with the force of the inside, anticipating the move from Rotten Tomato.
Mystery Machine getting lead up at the top of the pack.
Once again, Pop-Tart with another force out and recycle.
Mystery Machine through the pack backwards.
Aren't these kids fancy?
Lucky Horns, the saltwater taffy.
I know the adults teach junior clinics, but I'd like the juniors to teach a clinic for me.
Nice offensive help, allowing Tomato to get through. Mystery Machine calling it off.
8 points on the board for Mystery Machine. Now, Rosebuds with a safe gap of nearly 100 points. Under 10 minutes remaining.
Just under 10 minutes left in this bout.
Slaughtermelon and Toucan Slam.
Facing off
I think Toucan Slam is out there as the pivot. I
Oh,
can't quite
sorry, I
tell.
mixed up.
number 4.
I think that's 426 Comet.
Oh, Comet. This is the first appearance as Jammer for Comet.
Mellon getting help for her.
Sorry about that mix-up, everybody watching.
And
Comet.
Comet's going to get lead Jammer.
Wow.
Getting reabsorbed by the pack.
Oh,
But falls and gets a cut track call.
power jam for Slaughtermelon in a 2-minute jam.
Slaughtermelon through, but we have an injury on the track, so we're going to take our little break so that we can be checked on. This may be a good opportunity to thank our medical staff on the track. They are volunteers who give their time to make sure that we're all safe here, and we really appreciate them. Tomorrowland Skater is up and removing from the track on their own power. That's what we like to see. Yes, let's talk about Roller Rally again, our junior program fundraiser. Maybe we'll get that QR on the screen. There it is. Support the future of roller derby by donating at rosecityrollers.com/roller rally.
Got Ludini on a power start to kick this jam off. And it looks like we have another team timeout.
So Lucifer going to head out to the track as a blocker.
Tomorrowland with a jammer and a pivot in the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box.
Stay in the loop and get text from RCR. Text JOIN to 503-987-7547. That's JOIN to 503-987-7547 and get alerts about upcoming Rose City Rollers events. All right, power start, Ludini. Tomorrowland with a jammer and a blocker in the box. Lucifer tries to make the stop, but Ludini skates right past it.
Lucifer with a big hit out there, but Pop-Tart says no run back.
Pop-Tart.
Looks like the skater is okay, heading back to their bench.
All right, so here we go. Let's get started on our next jam setup. It's going to be Rotten Tomato versus Rolling Thunder at the line. And once again, we have a clear Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. So both teams will be playing at full strength.
Rolling Thunder and Rotten Tomato on the jam on jam line.
All right. Jammer forced out. Rotten Tomato forces Rolling Thunder to the outside.
Rotten Tomato getting hit out, but getting lead Jammer on that inside line.
That might have been a little apex jump. Call it a zoom room apex jump. Sherbert taking the hit. Stopping Rotten Tomato in its tracks.
But Rolling Thunder is going to steal two for a null jam.
Look at that. Just pick the pocket, huh?
Mm-hmm.
A little confusion on the track there. Tomorrowland had one extra skater out.
It looks like their jammer is reporting to the penalty box. So Rotten Tomato taking a seat there. Be a power jam for Ro-Ro Wreck Your Bout.
Yeah, also one defender down for Tomorrowland. All right, just under 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. That was a track cut call that put Rotten Tomato in the box. The Wreck Your Bout works at the front, steps through and becomes lead jammer. Lucky Hans will head to the penalty box.
Bud's racing up to get some offense for Ro-Ro.
Pop-Tart clearing the way.
Ro-Ro with a nice little pop to get through.
We'll call that one an apex jump too.
Why not?
Zoom room.
Rotten Tomato through on his initial pass.
Ro-Ro Wreck Your Bout forced out and calls it off. Collects another 2 points. That should make this a 6-point jam. 223 to 110. 6.5 minutes remaining.
Lovely replay of Ro's little hippity hop. And it's Mystery Machine and Comet as your jammers.
Comet making the second appearance now as jammer.
We've got one blocker each in the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. The Rosebuds blocker is standing.
Sherbert with the force out. Comet up and back in action.
Mystery Machine getting lead jammer.
Comet held up at the back by Sherbert,
Sherbert
Kung Fu Skinny, and
really able to just shrug it off.
Billy Fiend. Lucky Harms now back in that action too. Comet finds the opening and steps through and is on the initial pass. Mystery Machine sidestep, spinning, scores and calls it off.
A little over 5 minutes left in this game.
Got Slaughtermelon and Toucan Slam with the stars on their helmets. And an empty penalty box.
And Toucan Slam.
You can make an appointment if necessary.
Everybody's got to spend a little bit of time with Rebel Heart Therapy.
Slaughtermelon sees that opening. Here comes Toucan Slam.
About a quarter track behind. Kill Pickle, keeping it in on 1 foot after that hit out.
Both jammers through, scoring pass.
Slaughtermelon with an excellent little spin move in there to get the hips around for those points.
All right, Ludini and Lucifer at the line. Rosebuds with 1 blocker in the box.
Lucifer finding space on the outside line is your lead jammer.
Lucifer looking at lead jammer for the Phenomenauts.
Kung Fu Skinny holds up Lucifer.
Draws a cut on Lucifer, I believe.
That's going to leave Ludini in a power jam, and the jam will go the full 2 minutes.
So it is
Lucifer
a 2-minute
in the
jammer.
box. Yeah, that's a full 2-minute jam now due to that penalty. No lead jammer.
Ludini got 1-2 to beat at the top.
Tomorrowland once again laddering that defense though. Here comes Billy Fiend to start clearing the path.
Excellent power kill by Tomorrowland.
Here comes Billy Fiend again, trying to clear that opening.
On the track, Ludini has yet to finish an initial pass.
Lucifer is on the track and is through.
Flying through. A little zoom room apex jump there too.
40 more seconds in the jam.
Side steps. Almost a cut track, but he catches himself.
Ludini, the big hit on, I believe that's Jupiter up there.
Nice hit at the end there by Kill Pickle.
Ludini with a nice shoulder check as Lucifer's trying to pass.
Both jammers fighting to get those last minute points.
That jam comes to its natural close after a full 2 minutes. We got time for at least one more jam here. Lining up, we got Mr. Machine and Rotten Tomato.
And an empty penalty box for the final jam. At least the one more jam.
Rotten Tomato forced to the inside. There's Pop-Tart with the big hit. Forcing a cut track, Rotten Tomato heads to the penalty box.
Our jam for Mystery Machine.
Uh-oh, the pack's on the move. Mystery Machine spins off. We still have time for one more jam here. 45 seconds left on the clock.
Buds want a power start to finish this game off. And they're putting out one of my absolute favorite jammers.
Decoy with a special appearance.
The force is strong with Decoy.
The force is strong with Decoy. And Decoy's going to give you a show.
Decoy's about to say, this is not the jammer that you're looking for.
All right, and Decoy is off. Sidestepping
Little
the
back
blockers
bend.
at the front. Powering through, spinning off. All right, Decoy is out and lead.
Speeding around the track.
And we are off the period clock on the
Rock
jam
Tomato is
clock.
standing in the penalty box.
Get ready for the backward skate out.
There it is.
Recycled, one defender to go. Decoy steps through, is forced to the inside and recycled.
That is Toucan Slam with the hit out.
And there it is, the call off. Unofficial score 248 to 124. Rosebuds will have the final score after a little conversation from the Zebras.
Great job to both of those teams. That was a very hard-hitting, fast-skating game.
My first time announcing with you, thank you.
Yeah,
that was
thank
fun.
you.
And then after that, if you're interested, you should stay for our adult home team game. We're just going to see the Guns N' Rollers take on the Parade Neck Buddies. That game starts at 7. For now, I'm Dr. Amnon Malcolm.
There it is.
See you in about 30 minutes.
Our score is finalized, 252 to 124. Rosebuds take the win. We'll see you for the next game.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor, giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We got you.